Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, December 22nd. I'm here. I got my coffee. I've got some awesome guests sitting on deck. And yeah, if you're brand new to us, we've got some people coming on here live. If you're brand new to us, leave us a comment and hit the little thumbs up guy and let us know that you're here and that you're pumped to be here. We've got I think an awesome interview in store. We'll find out. I never know until we actually just get into it. So, but if you're newer, you can sign up for text message reminders from us if you would like. Every time that we go live, you can get just a little. Let's see. Did we get the message out today? Yep, just got the message. So you'll just get a little message just like this. And it'll just have a little link, and you tap the link to preview it, and then it just pulls open, and there we're live. So if you do that and you're here and you're not tuned into those reminders, then get tuned into those reminders. And without further ado, we've got Christmas on the way this weekend. If you're part of our Business Blueprints community, we're not going to be having a webinar this Thursday. For our Business Blueprints, every Thursday we have a live webinar at 3 p.m. Eastern. I host those. I'm the CMO, so I teach marketing strategy. We go into people's sales funnels, things like that. We won't have that due to the holidays, but we'll pick back up on that next week. We've got lots of cool people in here. We've got Daneth, Rebecca. I'm not going to throw up the comments on the screen right now. I'm just going to bring in our guests. We have special guests here who have been through a lot to get to where they're at, and they're still going through a lot. They're still kind of plowing through, but they're an awesome couple, and I'm pumped to bring them on. So if you guys can type in the chat and give them sort of a welcome and maybe throw up some clapping hands emojis or some crap like that. Welcome in Megan and Ryan from Indiana. What's up, guys?
Hey.
How's it going, Matt? Oh, a little more of a welcome than I think we deserve there.
I know.
We like it.
Gosh.
It's good.
Oh, are you kidding me? You guys, get out of here. We've got quite a few people on live, and can you guys see all the comments and stuff too, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, a little overwhelming.
So,
what's up,
so
girl?
what I thought would be cool, we interviewed you guys months and months ago. Well, not that long ago, but it was a few months ago. And
Is it September?
September 28th.
September.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you guys, it would be really cool if you guys could give us a quick summary of sort of your journey online as far back as that starts, because I love that you guys have tried a lot of different stuff, been unimpressed with certain stuff, and, had the typical journey. I describe it always as like, there's a training that I did at a mastermind called the Internet Marketing Graveyard. And basically it was me sort of unpacking the various places where, the grave sites of where people die in this industry. And, you've hit a lot of those and kept moving, which is a big thing. So that's cool. So bring us into your story. Tell us a little bit about you guys.
So basically, I lost my job earlier this year. And so instead of running back out and getting another, 9-to-5 job, I told Megan that I wanted to get online and try to figure out some sort of an online business that would work for us. So we immediately jumped into e-commerce and drop shipping. And we saw some success. And when I say success, it was via sales. But whenever I actually went back over the numbers after a few months, I realized that we had actually lost quite a bit of money between product cost and shipping and ad spend and everything else. We'd actually lost quite a bit of money. So, once we figured that out, we kind of the drop shipping and e-commerce kind of dwindled for us a little bit. And then we kind of figured out that there was
like what, can I ask, like, what type of stuff were you selling? I have curiosity.
Everything. I mean, it was weird because we'd actually, and this is where we'd kind of gotten the bad taste in our mouth for gurus, because we'd actually spent, quite a bit of money on courses and done for you stuff, different agencies that promised us the world, pay them, and they would have us a winning product within weeks, and we'd be making all kinds of money. So we sold all kinds of stuff. We sold survival gear. We sold little knick-knack trinket type things. We were just trying to find shoes. One of the things that we sold a lot of was a little, basically is a mobile telephone receiver. It's basically an old school telephone receiver that you plugged into your mobile phone.
Sold a lot of them.
We sold a ton of those.
Yeah.
People loved them. And I still think there's something there, but we just didn't really fully understand how to play the game yet with drop shipping. And also when COVID hit, the big business model for drop shipping was AliExpress and purchasing things overseas. Well, of course, the pandemic hits, and that slowed everything down. I mean, we had wait times for our customers for 8 weeks sometimes, and just that was unacceptable. That made a customer support nightmare. So we really figured out then that it wasn't really working for us, because like I said, we were losing money. We were spending so much money in ad spend, and even though we were seeing sales, I mean, within 1 month we had $8,000 worth of sales, and that was like our second month of being in it. So we were pumped. We thought, man, we're doing great. But then when I went back and actually looked at the numbers and realized that we weren't making any profit at all, we were actually losing quite a bit. That's when we realized that this wasn't going to work for us. So.
And then he actually found affiliate marketing and started to talk with me a little bit about it. And that's when he dove into the challenge before he even talked to me about it. I mean, it's $7, right? We've already lost whatever. $7 is not going to make or break us, thankfully. But he went ahead and dove into that, got into the challenge. And I think it's on what day? Day 3 or day 4, whenever it's recommended that you buy Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yep.
And I came downstairs and he's sitting here reading a book, and I was pretty sure that he didn't even know how to read, because in the 10 years we've been together, he's never picked up a book once.
I love it.
Okay, he's got something going here to change him that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when he brought me into it, and I started watching some of the videos, and I come from a global corporate business, and I love that, but it's got some really good training. I watched this and I saw how real everything was, and I'm going, okay, hang on, maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to this, because this is some really dang good training. They're not sugarcoating crap. They're saying, no, you're going to lose your butt if you don't work hard. So
yeah, we had kind of, we were at the point that had been about 5 months since I had lost a job. So it was kind of at a point where we're trying to figure out, well, do we keep going with something online, or do I go out there and I find a 9-to-5 job? So we went ahead and we signed on with Legendary. We did the 15-day challenge. And after talking to folks in the community with affiliate marketing, we knew that there was something here. We knew that this business model worked. We just had to figure out how to make it work for us.
Yeah, how do we apply it?
And so we worked through it. So we signed up early July. By late September, I think, is when we came on the first wake up call. We had actually just seen our first commissions come in. So we were thankful. They weren't much, but we were thankful that that proved to us. It validated everything that we had done in that couple of months, that everything worked. So for us, it was like, all right, now we've seen that the model works. Now what do we got to do go forward? And, we've reached out to you, Matt, a couple different times with questions. I know Megan really was reaching out through Facebook Messenger a few times. And, you had even alluded, hey, you guys are doing good. You're asking the right questions. So we knew we were on the right path, but, there's still frustrating times. And anybody that starts this, that thinks that they're just going to immediately boom, take off and do great with it, and everything's going to be unicorns and rainbows. It's not that way. There is work involved with it, and you're going to have frustrating times. And I think that's where Megan and we kind of took this we'll be damned attitude with this. We knew it would work, and we just had to fight for it. And honestly, it got to be about the end of October, wasn't it? Yeah, the end of October. And we still hadn't really seen a whole lot of success. So I had actually gone out and applied for jobs. I was at Home Depot shopping and saw that they had a position available, applied for it. They actually called me for an interview. Megan and I had a real good sit down conversation about what to do next, on whether or not to keep going forward with our affiliate marketing, or for me to go out and take this job, because we got responsibilities. We got kids and all the responsibilities going along with it. So we got bills to pay. So with nothing, majorly coming in. So we decided, after we talked, we had still just a little bit of money, basically our kind of our safety fund that we'd been using for a few months. We had a little bit left, and we decided, nope, we're going to push forward with this.
It's funny because I was the one that wanted him originally to just go ahead and go out and get a new job. I mean, I'm sending him like job applications and everything else at the beginning of this. Yeah. And it was funny because he comes to me about this whole thing, and I'm like, is it going to be worth it? No, it's not going to be worth it. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be stuck. You're not going to be able to put the time into this, what it takes. So let's just hold off. Don't go to the interview. Let's just keep pushing forward with this.
Yeah. And then so basically then at that point, I'd reached out to somebody that I'd kind of connected with a little bit through some of the videos that I'd seen. I don't quite know that he had made a wake up live yet, but it's actually Austin Becker is who I reached out to. He actually reached back out to me. We had a long chat, like the last day, right the day before Halloween, I think, in October. And he kind of gives me what I call a swift kick in the ass, basically.
Yeah.
And told me, basically shot me straight and told me, the real stuff. And as far as what was holding us back really was me putting content out on TikTok. I was so scared to get behind the camera and produce content. And the conversation that Austin and I had just really helped me. And I made myself a promise then that day. And so basically starting November 1st, I made a commitment to start posting content 4 times a day. And I kept up with that. And then within basically a couple of weeks, our lives started to change.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, it was truly unreal. I mean, we started to see things starting to happen. We started getting busy with TikTok with the comments and the direct messages and the emails and everything else. And I kept producing the content and making sure that every day that I post that content and man, it's changed our lives in that short amount of time. We hit one of our goals when we first signed up with Legendary was to have a 5K month. And, we figured, maybe 6 to 12 months we might hit that, but we actually, that first month of posting content, we hit it. We actually got past it. And we're almost twice that now.
Almost double now.
Month. So it's been an amazing journey. We've met a lot of people, and truly, Legendary talks about helping people. Put the money aspect of it aside and go out there and help people, whether it's the make money online niche or whatever niche you decide to choose. Basically, people are out there. They've got some sort of a problem. Provide a solution to that problem, and money follows. And that cannot be, more true than what it is. We've really figured that out. We have helped so many people, and it's been a wonderful ride for us to just meet the people that we've met, and see the different situations. Now, there's a lot of people, especially in the make money online niche, that don't even have the $7 to start up with the challenge. So to be able to help those folks, with other avenues to try to get started just so they can get the $7 to come in for the challenge, it sometimes it's heart-wrenching to hear some of the stories, and you get all of those stories and stuff. So, it's interesting because a lot of times we'll hear those stories, and the background that Megan has with where she works at, she's a little bit, I'm not going to say jaded.
Oh, no, I'm jaded. I used to work in a call center, and you heard every single sob story to try and get this or that. And I'm like, okay, I'm just immune to it. So if I come off as like a complete,
that's it. I've done the call center. I get it.
Oh my gosh.
And so sometimes I got to be like, hey, it's not necessarily always that way. So, you got to talk with people, open up the dialogue, and engaging your audience has really been probably the best thing for us. It's kept us super busy. It's very difficult. I mean, even over the last couple of days, our following has blown up over the last couple of weeks, but the last couple of days, I mean, we strive to reply to every comment that gets left on our videos and every direct message that we get. But here recently, man, we're a few days behind because we've been slammed so much, and it's just the two of us responding to those messages. But we try our best to engage our audience as much as we can.
That's cool. That's awesome. Well, and you guys, now you're at the point where you know, and I'll just give a disclaimer. These guys are at, you guys are going to have probably a 10K month here or close, something like that. And just as a disclaimer, that isn't the typical result of most affiliates online, but in your case, you're now going to begin to face different challenges, scaling, right? So, oh my gosh, there's 24 hours in a day. We have kids, we have life, So I mean, you guys are gonna, and that's a cool thing. I mean, that's a cool thing where at some point you guys, that's a good problem to have. But at some point you'll look into getting somebody for, let's say you pay somebody $500 a month and they're very, very fluent with all things TikTok, social media, and legendary. And they're just more than happy to sit on your guys' TikTok and reply to comments all day long. Yeah. And that is suddenly gone from your life. But you haven't lost that engagement, right? Yeah. So it's starting to figure those things out and figure out sort of what's the best approach to that. And if I could give you some advice, and Ashley just said in the comments, and they're thankful for that $500, especially during, a pandemic. Like there's a lot of people who are trying to learn this, who are trying to learn how to get on TikTok, or trying to learn how to do that, which if you were to post your Facebook page, or you were to post to your TikTok channel and say, hey, we're looking for people who want to learn from us, who, you could get a little bit of value from learning from us potentially as affiliates. And we're willing to take on an intern, right? So the thing that I really like to do is I say, we're looking to take on an intern for a 30-day window to test this out. We're not sure if we want to do this forever. And then you've got a 30-day window to really teach somebody, see if they're, going to live up to it. Start them out at a small amount, pay them, but just it's a way to kind of keep your costs low initially, but also invest in somebody and see how that feels. And then it could turn into a long-term thing. Totally could. But okay, so but quick rewind. Going back, and this is kind of in line with a question we just got, how do you plan your content? But going back, I want to go into just a little bit. You start out that day, November 1st or whatever day that was. You're like, okay, I'm gonna be consistent with this. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna do this because look, these people are clearly having success with it. Let's do it. Yeah. What exactly do you commit to, and how do you start to figure out that content? Because there's a lot of people who put out content, doesn't really get viewed all that much. Yeah. And I've been spending a lot of my Thursday webinars, or our Thursday webinars, with people, and we sit there and watch their freaking videos, and I tell them, there's a formula to this, and here's the formula, and you need to switch, and you need to start doing this formula and they see their channels grow. It's just, it's not perfect science, but there's a science element. Yeah.
And we've actually, had a few people reach out to us with basically the same questions. How do you look for the content? Well, basically, and I know it sounds funny, I used to scroll through TikTok, hours of a day just watching videos. Yeah. Now it's basically work for me. It's research, scrolling through TikTok to see what's trending. Using trending music or sounds, using, their new features, whether it's a stitch or duet or whatever it is. So trying to figure out the new features of TikTok. So really, I'll spend a lot of time scrolling through TikTok, watching videos to figure out what I'm going to do. And it's also, and it's okay to also use other people's, kind of ideas. Just make them your own. Take them and put your own little twist on them. You don't have to necessarily recreate the wheel here. There's a lot of people out here doing this. So kind of take note of what they're doing. If it looks, intriguing to you, take that, make it your own, put your own little spin on it, and then produce the content. But I see also in the comments, people talk about being camera shy, or they're afraid to get behind the camera. And I get it. I was there, but as it was told to me, you're going to make crappy videos. Okay. When you start, it's going to happen. They're going to be bad. They're going to be ugly. That's just part of it.
If you look through some of ours, I'm like,
but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. You also learn at the app, TikTok, and all the little features that are in there. Yeah. I know a lot of people that just put the camera up, they shoot a video and then they post it, because they don't know how to add those little features or effects and things like that. But the best way to do it, get in there, spend, sometimes it'll take me an hour and a half to produce a 15-second video because I'm sitting in there and I'm tweaking with it and I'm playing with it. But that's part of learning. You got to go through that process to learn it. But don't be scared to do it. Again, you're going to have bad videos. They're going to be ugly. They're going to be nasty, but post them anyway. Get them out there. I mean, we've left ours on there. The ones in the beginning, they're horrible. I hate to go back and look at those, but they're there. Yeah, exactly.
They're still picking up traction. So.
They're still picking up traffic. People, they get through all of our videos. They even look at the ones in the beginning. But again, you're going to have bad videos, and the other part is you may have a video today that goes viral where it's got 200,000 views, but you may post the very next one and only get a few hundred or a couple thousand views on it. And that's part of the game too. Not everyone is going to be a home run. Not everyone is going to be a viral video, but still post the content, put it out there.
It's interesting. What do you think is the difference between, there's sort of this moment, I'm thinking back to the sort of moment where you're like, okay, you guys make this decision together. We're going to do this. We're going to go for it. But I feel significant to me that you guys were on the brink of hey, I'm sending you job applications, or I'm applying for jobs. I think that it's so fascinating to me that the difference of time is so small.
Yeah. It was a week.
Yeah, people glorify this whole 6-figure affiliate thing, and they sort of forget that there's just real people who are sitting in their living room dude, you might need it. Here's some job applications.
We were there.
Get a job, get a job, and I think people forget that sometimes.
Yeah, they do. And, I thank Megan so much for the support that she's given me. Because like I said, when I first lost the job and I said, hey, I want to go into online business, she's looking at me like I've just lost my mind, because we were raised that you go out, you get a job, you save for retirement and you retire. That's how this world works. And so for me to think outside of the box like that, and for her to support me all the way, and say, yeah, let's do this. And then to get to that point, we've had, like I said earlier, we've had frustrations all the way through this. There's been points where, we just want to throw our hands up and go, all right, what's the next thing? And I know there's a video out there that I can't remember exactly who's doing it, but they talk about the valley of despair, where basically, you start something, you go through the process, and you get to a point where something is hard or difficult. And that's where 90% of the people out there say, I can't do this. It's too hard. What's the next thing? And they start all over again. But, as they talk about in that video, if you can get past those couple of points down there at the bottom, on the other side of that is success. So if you can figure out, what it is that's keeping you from succeeding, that little bit of something that you either don't understand or it's a little difficult, if you can use your resources and get past that point, you'll get to success. And I think Megan and I knew that this worked. We knew we were doing the right things, but there was just something that was keeping us from succeeding. And it wound up being basically me standing in my own way because I wouldn't post content. For us, that was our little hurdle that was keeping us. And I know that there's a lot of people out there. There's probably a lot of people out there this morning here on the show that they're in the same boat. The one thing that's keeping them from success is they're afraid of the camera. They don't want to get behind the camera. They don't want to post content. If you can get past that, for us, that was our point of despair. That was our little valley there. Once we got past that, man, it was like that, and things changed immediately. So, but you're right, as far as going from a point of, all right, we're out here. I'm out here at Home Depot. I've just put an application in for a job. We were thinking, all right, we're going to become affiliate marketers. We're going to make, 6 figures and everything's going to be great and never have to worry about anything again. And here I am, I'm looking at, we haven't had income on my side coming in for a while, and, the responsibilities that we've got. So life is real, the responsibilities are real. So we had to make a choice. And at that point, we weren't seeing much success. So I had to have a plan B. And, again, I actually applied for the job and got the interview without even saying anything to Megan yet. Because I wasn't sure where it was going to go. And so when I got called for the interview, I sat down with her and we really had that conversation of, okay, what do we want to do? Because if I do go and take this job, then that means I'm not going to have the time to dedicate to, our online business. And I don't know where that's going to go. More than likely, in reality, it's going to fall off to the wayside. Mm-hmm. And we didn't want that to happen. So again, we were fortunate enough to be in a situation where we had a little bit still stashed away. We decided to keep moving forward with it. And then again, like I said, it was really truthfully me standing in my own way, getting behind the camera. But once I got past that, that's when we started to see success. Are
you guys more introverted, extroverted?
I used to think that I wasn't introverted, but as I look at things now, I think I kind of am a little bit.
Okay.
Like
not anymore.
Like, well, and really truthfully, Austin puts us in a great way when I talk with him, because, he's kind of the same way. When I'm here in my studio or at home working on our videos and stuff like that, it's just me. It's not anybody else. Yeah. But like when we go out together in places like Megan, she can talk to anybody.
I was a bartender at one point, so I can talk to anybody about anything.
But for me, it's hard for me to just pick up a conversation with somebody that I don't know and just start chit-chatting with people. So I used to think that I wasn't introverted, but I actually figured out I kind of am in a certain way. But even doing this stuff, it's just me and the camera. It's just me. Like right now, I don't know how many people are on, but right now, Matt, you and I are just having a conversation. That's how I feel. So it's just me and you. I don't really realize, all the other, or think about all the other people that are there. So it doesn't bug me that much. But I would say I'm more of an introvert than I used to think I was.
Yeah, you might start sweating if you realize that there's a couple hundred people sitting at their screen right now watching you.
Maybe. It's so funny, though, you say that, because I got on a Zoom call the other day with a guy that reached out to us, and one of the folks that we've helped. And it was so funny. I was telling Megan about this last night. We got on the Zoom call, and the guy's like sweating, and he's nervous, and he's stuttering and all this stuff. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, I guess for him, it was like he'd seen me in all these videos and stuff, and I'm just not used to this kind of a reaction from people. He was so nervous to actually be talking to me, and finally, I just shoved my face into the camera, and I'm like, dude, we're just two dudes talking. That's all this is, and got him to calm down a little bit, and it was great. We had like an hour conversation on a Zoom call, and, helping him out with some of his, TikTok issues that he was having, things like that. But, again, it's just... just talking one-on-one with people, really is how I look at it. I don't look at it as me, and then there's, we're almost to 40,000 followers now on TikTok. We started out at the beginning of November, we had 19. So, so we've grown fairly quickly. And so I don't look at it as me putting videos out there.
Wait, you mean literally 19 followers, not 19,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No zeros behind that.
Now we're at almost 40,000.
Yeah.
Wow. That's nuts. That's
crazy.
That's fascinating, because in particular with getting on camera, it reminds me a little bit of sort of my first time getting on camera, and kind of a similar thing where I was like, I actually did go get a job. Mostly, I probably wouldn't have if I had TikTok in 2011, or 2012. But back in that day, there wasn't really sort of the virality kind of opportunity. That's really never existed in this industry, to be honest. But maybe subtle things on like Facebook or Instagram, like for a little bit, or YouTube for a little bit, but pretty rare. But I will say that when I was first getting started, I remember like there was a moment where I would kind of create content and kind of create videos and do email marketing and try to do webinars, but I was so nervous. I just felt like everyone was watching me, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't know how to get through this. And I just had to pound through it. But eventually, there was kind of a moment, there was like a contest, or there was some sort of challenge or something. I can't remember what it was exactly, but there was a challenge to see how many views and likes you could get on your video. And they posted all these people's videos. There's like 100 of them on one website. And it was like, hey, we're going to take votes on whose video is best. So I put a lot of work into this. And then I was like, you know what? I want to win this thing. So I started messaging like all of my friends and stuff like, hey, I just started spamming my whole Facebook. And this was like kind of a moment for me where I was like, I just felt like I was in my internal world. I felt really insecure about like what I was doing, or insecure because I felt imposter syndrome. And I just remember thinking, you know what, like, I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not, but like, if I do regret it later, oh, well, if I don't, like, that's way worse. Like if I just end up a couple years down the road and I'm like, I just couldn't break through. I couldn't get through. I couldn't. And then in 3, 5, 10 years, I'm sitting back wondering like, man, I missed that opportunity. I missed it.
What could have
and
been?
That would have been the worst feeling. So that's kind of the moment where I really was like, okay, push through. It's sort of your November 1st moment. Is like, okay, I just got to go. Yeah. And whatever it's sort of like, you know, driving a boat through a lake or whatever, and you're just leaving a wake. Whatever wake comes of this, it's just going to come and it's just going to happen. I don't know what's going to be there. I really don't even know what's ahead, but it's sort of head down and just go for it and move forward as fast as you can. I also think, you know, I feel like there's a lesson as well embedded in your guys' story about just, this is going to sound overly simple, but just asking for help. Like you guys,
oh my gosh,
you guys endlessly email, not endlessly, you guys weren't pests, but you guys were persistent in emailing me and asking me direct questions. You got on a Zoom call with Austin. You're asking and poking around and prodding and messaging people. And sometimes I'm just like, guys, people like, I tell people like, look, if you message me 10 times on Facebook and email me 8 times and I never respond, that's on me. Like, how is that going to change our relationship? It's not. Like, you're going to have reached out and maybe you didn't get a response, but most likely you will. And in fact, most people in our community, they'll get on a Zoom call with you. They'll chat with you. They'll be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? You need 15 minutes? Sure. I'm just chilling at my desk making TikTok videos, so I can take 15 minutes, you know, like that's what our community is doing. They're creating content. They're sitting in front of a computer. They get a message. Hey, can you answer a few questions for me? Sure. Yeah. Why not? Like, I'm happy to help. It's probably the most helpful community I've ever seen online, but I just feel like your guys' constant sort of just bug people. And that's okay. Like, we're taught for some reason that that's wrong, or our parents have embedded in us that that's wrong or not okay, or just, hey, shut up. Like, quit asking these questions. Why do you want to just bug people, poke them? Facebook used to have that poke like feature where you could poke people. Just start poking people. Just start asking questions. I think you guys are a good testament to that.
Yeah, well, you know, for us, especially when I reached out to Austin, I had that conversation. Megan would laugh so hard because, you know, for months,
oh my God,
she'd been trying to say, this is what you need to do. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she's like, so you spent an hour on the phone with one person. He told you the same thing I've been telling you for months. And for some reason it took, you know.
I was happy and ticked all at the same time. I'm like, really?
But you're right, as far as the community goes, and that's what we tell people all the time, the community for affiliate marketing is so amazing. It's not cutthroat. You know, people are out there truly trying to help one another. Now, you know, we do get the questions of, well, where do I start? You know, things like, and you say this all the time, Matt, you got to utilize your resources. So there's a lot of times where we get questions that it's like, okay, you can use your resources to figure something like this out. You know, don't necessarily, you know, that's why we talk about the challenge as much as we do, because the basic information is there. You know, if you want to learn that, use your resources, get the basic information there. But if you're truly stuck on something, or you have a, you know, you're confused about something, reach out to us by any means. We'll help you out wherever we can. But, you know, it's also teaching people how to use the resources. You know, to Google something. I remember in Decade in a Day, I reached out to you with a quick question about a subdomain question or something like that, and your response was, you know, Google, use your resources, Google your question and find your answer. And so a big part of this is utilizing your resources, whether you go to Google or YouTube or whatever it is. You know, sometimes you can find your answer there. But there's other times where, you're doing the right things. Like we were doing what needed to be done. We had the steps, we had our sales funnel, we had, our autoresponder. We were seeing some results, but we just weren't getting to that point where we thought we should be. That's where you got to reach out to somebody and say, okay, this is what we're doing. Where are we going wrong at here? Or can you point us in the right direction? Is there something else? Guide us in a different direction, or let us know what we need to do. So, and again, the community for affiliate marketing, I've been overwhelmed with the people that we have reached out to and talked with. We actually made a joke a few weeks ago about, when we first started, these people that we basically had put up here, like, we're looking up at them going, wow, these guys are great. They're doing amazing things. And now we've reached out to, Brian, Dom, Austin, Dom, all these guys that are doing things. And now we've reached out to them, and we're kind of, we're talking with them, we're chatting with them. And it's just an amazing feeling to see that we're kind of not necessarily on the same page with them, but they're responding to us in messages and talking to us and just in everyday conversations now. So it truly is an amazing group.
Yeah. It's funny when you're first starting. And a side note, I just want to say that's hilarious that she had been saying that forever. And then you get on one call and she's like, seriously?
Oh, yeah, my God.
Come on.
I was like,
that's pretty much how married life works, though.
I've had those moments.
Yeah.
I feel like with sort of, and there's another really great lesson there, which is like, it's just interesting. It's a reason that Dave is always saying, stop calling yourself a newbie. Stop calling yourself a newbie, right? Stop that. Because there's no real clear-cut moment where the definition of you being a newbie versus a pro happens. It's a process that happens, and it has to be done by you acting your way into a new way of thinking, not, oh, I'm a pro. Well, okay, great. Now what are you going to do that's going to show that? And one of those things, which is really subtle, but it's sort of associating with the pros. You look at the pros and you think, oh, success leaves clues. These people have left clues about what they've done and what. It's not rocket science here. There's some sort of formula. They're just doing a certain thing every day and they're becoming successful. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to associate with them. I'm going to message them and then obviously you're grateful, you're thankful that they're open to doing that. But there's a thing that turns in your mind. There's a switch that sort of flips on in your mind where you say, there's an underlying belief, I think, that says, hey, I'm worthy of chatting with these people. That sounds funny, but I'm worthy of having a chat with somebody who's doing $30,000 a month. And there's a lot of people who will watch this video. There's a lot of people who will watch this video who don't believe that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost, you get to that, you're like awestruck with people sometimes, and you don't, you're either afraid or something to reach out to them, like they're not going to talk to you or something, and again, we're people. We're all just people trying to do this. So, and what you say as far as considering yourself a newbie, and I know Dave does that. He's like, you got to get over being that newbie complex that he calls it. And he's right. I was kind of in that same boat too. When I first started, I was all about, and I'm not going to say that anything bad about the wake up calls, but I was on them every morning that there was a wake up call. I had it in my phone. I had an alarm, and I was on them every morning, and I was interactive with them, and they are a great asset for anybody that is basically getting going with this. But it was like I kept leaning on the wake up calls for that. All right, here's what you need to do next thing. And I kept thinking I was going to find, as Dave say, that gold nugget that would just get me past that point of where we were at. And it wasn't that. I was dependent upon that because I kept looking every morning at the wake up calls as trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. And that ended up, it wasn't that at all. Like I said, it ended up being me that was standing in my own way with creating the content and stuff. But you're right. You get to a certain point where that there's just that switch in your head that flips, and then you decide that, okay, this is the path I'm going to go, and you start working on that, and then things kind of take off from there. Hopefully, that makes sense. But, again, I was stuck on it because every day I made sure that I came in the wake up calls. Once we got to the point where I started making the content, I fell off from being at the wake up calls because, one, I didn't have the time in the day because I was creating content and everything else. So now I've kind of gotten back to where I've, got things structured in my day that I still try to get onto them, a couple of times a week, but it's not one of those things where I'm leaning on the wake up call to give me that insight that I need to progress forward.
Yeah, you're busy. You're busy running your business.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you can make it, this is a secondary priority. Your first priority is driving revenue. That's the first priority of a business, because without revenue, you can't profit. Without profit, you can't have impact.
Right.
So it can't really, you've got nothing. So that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. And that's a big step. That's cool. And that happened rapidly, guys. That happened really fast. I mean, think about the transformation from basically just kind of, we're just getting started. We kind of made a few sales here or there. We're trying to figure this out. And now it's like you're a content machine. It's wild.
Well, I'll give you the example that was given to me. Basically, if you think about it, if you post one video a day for 30 days, what do you got? You got 30 videos. If you post 4 times a day in 30 days, what do you got? It's 120 videos. I mean, look, 30 and 120, that content is so important to growing your audience and growing your business that the more content that you can put out there. Now, is it difficult sometimes to put 4 pieces of content out a day? Yeah, it is. But again, we go back to being an entrepreneur. It's not all easy. There's work involved with this, and a lot of people say, well, you're just playing on TikTok or whatever. And it's not, it is work. I mean, it's a full-time job for me to produce the content and keep moving with things. But, that's what we've decided to do. And it's worked out for us. And, we're fortunate and blessed enough to see success from it. And we're just want to let other people know that if you do it, you can be successful too.
Yeah, makes sense.
We still, I mean, even though we're running into, we're not doing paid ads or anything like that right now because, well, one, we're still in Facebook jail, and 2,
join the club. I was kicked off of the entire Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for 3 months.
Oh,
yeah, we're there.
You guys went to jail. I went to
banishment.
Alcatraz.
Yeah, I went to federal prison.
It's crazy. But I mean, we still have hurdles though, even with TikTok, right? So even though it's organic content, I mean, we still have those hurdles. Yesterday, and it's happened a couple of times to us now, TikTok put us in timeout. They said that we were replying to direct messaging or direct messaging too fast.
Yeah, we were messaging.
Yeah.
Put us on a timeout.
They said we needed a rest, so.
Yeah. I've had that happen.
You've been working too hard. You need a rest.
And then we had
your fingers are going to fall off.
Oh my gosh. And that feels like it that sometimes. And then, we had an issue with something about our link or whatever was saying it was insecure or whatever. And I'm like, crap, seriously. But I mean, we got around that.
So, yeah. And it all comes down to, again, using resources.
Yes.
We have these issues that pop up and, it's funny because when you start this off, you're thinking, man, money's going to solve my problems. That's the biggest worry I've got is if I can make a little extra money, that would solve all my problems. And then you start down this path and you're like, well, all right, so you've made money, but guess what? Now you have a whole new set of worries and things to think about. And, but I've come to learn that's just entrepreneurship. I mean, as you go, there's always going to be these hurdles, and it's how you respond to those hurdles that really define whether or not you're going to be successful. If you're the type of person that just, again, throws your hands up and gives up at the first sign of adversity, then you're not going to do well. But if you can fight through, use your resources, figure it out, and move on, then you can be successful with this.
Yeah,
I think there's a powerful lesson there where you get deep enough and far enough into the business game, especially online, where if you've been around long enough, you just sort of acknowledge the fear that this will all dry up and your business will be gone tomorrow. right? And that's an irrational fear, right? But the reality is, if you just acknowledge that fear and just say, I just have this fear. I think it's just going to happen someday. It could happen someday. It might, I don't know, but I just have this fear, and I'm just going to live with it. Right. Yeah. Rather than denying that fear, which is a different response, saying, no, it'll never go away, or no. But the reality of entrepreneurship is just, this could go away at any moment. Right. Your sales can dry up at any moment. Businesses go out of business or go bankrupt all the time. That's just the reality. Yeah. And so it's sort of this, that is, I mean, with that sort of risk comes great rewards, which you guys are, sort of reaping now after, you've prepared the soil, you've planted the seeds, you've watered them, you've cultivated them, and the harvest, luckily online, comes a little bit faster than maybe a 9-month, harvest. You got the kids in the background. I love it.
Yeah. They came running downstairs. Yeah. They just woke up.
No way.
I love it. Well, that's what we love about this show. Okay, so I guess we're at 8:50. So can you guys give a final word to people watching, to people maybe who are just hesitant about starting their first video, or who are just going through the challenge? What's sort of sitting on your mind or your heart, or what would you guys say?
For me, it's one, just do it. Just get started. I hate to sound like a Nike ad there, but just do it. Get going with it. I mean, again, like I said earlier, you're gonna make bad videos. They're not gonna look good. They're gonna be crappy. Post them. Get them done. Just do it.
Be consistent with your content.
Be consistent.
Whether it's you in front of the camera or just an object or whatever it is, you have to be consistent with your content.
Yeah, you can't just post one day, post a bunch of videos one day, and then wait a week or so and then post some more. You've got to be consistent with what you do every day. Make those videos. If they're bad or not, post them. Get them out there, and then also reach out for help. If you do get stuck on something, or you've got questions, reach out. Whether it's us. We're pretty available through all our, either TikTok or, Facebook or whatever, or anybody else. That's what the community is here for. So don't feel like it's just you doing your own thing. Yeah. So, reach out if you got any problems or questions.
And the other bit that I wanted to throw in there, we talk with a lot of people. They're like, oh, well, I'm going through the 15-day challenge, but I'm skipping over this and that. Don't do that. There's a reason that this challenge is so successful, and it can be very lucrative to someone. Go through each and every video. Don't skip days. Don't ask your business advisor, just go ahead and unlock everything for me. No, don't do that. There's a reason. Go back through, watch your videos, even if it seems like it's just a fluffy mindset video. Look past that and say, okay, yes, this is a mindset, but how did they get there? Look deeper into that message.
Yeah, I hear that all the time from people that will have gone through the challenge, and they're in the later part of the videos, and they're like, man, it's just a bunch of success stories. It's about how this guy made a bunch of money. And I'm like, you're listening to the wrong message. You truly have to look at that and see, okay, how did that person get to where they're at? Not the fact that they're successful and they made a bunch of money. What did they give up? What did they sacrifice? What did they do to get to that point? It's not necessarily just a success story. It's not a testimonial. Listen to the actual message that is there, how they got there. That's what you need to be picking up from those videos. Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely make sure you go through all of the videos and in the challenge.
That's awesome. You guys are an inspiration to our, and I don't say that lightly. You guys are really inspiring to our community. You guys are, we're very thankful, very honored to have you guys in our community. You guys are awesome, and we'll definitely have you guys back on. I think you guys are just getting started, by the way. You guys had a big month this month, but truly the sky's the limit, especially online. And, keep at it. I keep grinding, keep at it, keep hustling. And then, in a couple months, it's going to be looking to, what other income streams can we add? How can we load this up, right? Yeah. Can we do coaching? Can we hold an event? Can we host 5 people in Evansville, Indiana, and do
nobody wants to come here.
we've gotten
Evansville, Indiana.
we've gotten to that a little bit, and the other thing is that we've kind of gotten to a point where, you do see, when you start to see success, don't gauge your success off of other people, because I've caught myself doing that a few times as well, because I look at where we're at now, and then I look at some of the other people, and I'm like, man, why are we not quite where they're at? And I have to stop and I have to think, okay, these guys have been doing it a lot longer than we have. It takes time to get this here. So I can't gauge our success off of someone else's success. So, and also, try not to grow too fast, because I started to think about that the other day. I'm like, oh man, we need to be doing this and this and this. And it's like, wait a minute. We're still, still getting our feet underneath of us. Yeah, we're having success, but we need to stabilize what we've got going on before we even think about, branching out into other areas and stuff. So, but definitely
there's real wisdom in that, because this industry, more than any other industry, is filled with affiliates who found that little spurt, that little spring of water of success. And then they get hit with an ad the next day about the hot new flavor of the month, and they're gone. And this happens, I'm not kidding you. This is a real warning to you guys and to everybody on this, where when you begin to find success, double, triple down on that until you've really got it on lock. Because when people start to move and change and shift and adjust, and see what he's doing over there. I see what he's doing. And we even do that sometimes. I even do that sometimes. I'll go and look, and I'll see on Facebook or Instagram, I've seen this guy's ads 30 times. Well, guess what? I've also run an ads agency, and I know that some of these guys who are running ads for $1 million a month, they're running ads on Facebook, Instagram for their info product, are not really taking a salary or profiting much. All they're trying to do is really grow their customer base, and they're losing money on most of their ads. They've got an existing customer base or enough profit where they can do that, but they're using all their profits to pour into ads to grow their company. Yeah. And that's the backstory of what people sometimes don't realize. And so the same goes for when you see people trying new things and, it must be working. He doesn't do anything. Well, no, hold on. Like, we know what our success is. And a lot of people who are watching this will have a little spurt of success. They'll get their first couple leads. They'll get their first couple sales. They'll sell a product here or there. And rather than saying, okay, I got this result, how do I get it? How do I double down, triple down on that and go big and really lock in a strategy? They'll jump quick, jump. There's a difference between jumping and sort of, I would say, pivoting. Pivoting is it's a different thing, leaping from one thing to the next, or kind of taking that one thing that worked, and then I'm going to really put my focus on this, and I'm going to sort of half-ass what I was doing before. And then that sort of goes away. And that happens with $5,000 earners. It happens with 6 figures, and it happens at 7 figures, believe it or not. Yeah. Like, I've seen it, I've watched it, and it can completely dry up a business. Yeah. So it's not like a stern warning, but it is just a fair, sort of opening the door for everybody to come in and look, that this isn't always just, some magical rainbow ride that people are on. There's a lot of, consistency and a lot of patience and a lot of wisdom in sort of having a steady foot on the gas pedal. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap with that. I think that's a good place to end. I think you guys just gave everybody here an hour of their time. So, guys, if you got value from this, a couple, I don't know, 130 live, and we'll have multiple thousand probably watch this in replays. So, if you guys got value, just leave a little comment and say thanks. I already saw a bunch of comments here, but leave a comment and say thanks. These guys have the reputation of looking through all the comments, so who knows? Maybe they'll come back and read through them. I don't know if they've got time, but
we'll make time.
Thank you guys for coming on. You guys, taking the time to respond to comments and stuff is really just evidence that you care, that you actually give a crap, which is true of I would say most people, if not all people in our community that I know at least. And it makes it a different experience for people. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys. We're back here live again tomorrow. These guys are really, like, I don't use the word inspirational lightly, but these guys are very inspirational, and they're sort of in attack mode right now. And I think you can feel that. I think you can sense that there's a difference there when you get into attack mode versus I'm sort of, wandering around, right? There's sort of an aggressiveness at which they're going after it. So kudos to them. We'll be back here live again tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, every single day. We're even going to be here over the holidays. So join us then too. And we'll see you then. Same time, same place.